Hi, everybody. The question this week is: will relational databases eventually become extinct? And in my opinion, no, they will not. As with anything new, there is always the question of will it replace the old? With a relational database, new data or modifications to existing data are not accepted unless they satisfy the constraints represented in the schema, which are usually related to data types. The way in which a relational database coordinates its transactions guarantees that the entire database is always consistent. However, sometimes this focus on consistency can become a burden. It induces, sometimes unnecessarily, overhead and hampers scalability and flexibility. A relational database is at its best when performing intensive read-write operations or small or medium-sized datasets, or when executing large batch processes with only a limited number of simultaneous transactions. Even though relational databases have provided database users with the best mix of simplicity, robustness, flexibility, performance, scalability, and compatibility, their performance in each of these areas is not necessarily better than that of the alternate solution pursuing one of these benefits in isolation. This has not been much of a problem so far because the universal dominance of the relational database, which has outweighed the need to push any of these boundaries. Nevertheless, if you really had a need that couldn't be answered by a generic relational database, alternatives have always been around to fill those niches. The inherent constraints of a relational database ensure that data in the lowest level has integrity. Data that violates integrity constraints cannot physically be entered into the database. None of this means that relational databases will become obsolete anytime soon. However, the one-size-fits-all era in which these systems were used in nearly every data and processing content seem to have come to an end. A relational database is still the way to go when storing medium-sized or smaller volumes of highly structured data and when your organization strongly emphasizes consistency and extensive querying facilities. Where massive volumes, flexible data structures, scalability, and availability are more important, other systems may be called for. The need has resulted in the emergence of NoSQL databases. It would be an oversimplification to reduce your choice to a relational database or a NoSQL database to to the choice between consistency and integrity or scalability and flexibility, respectively. I can see in the future a combination of the best parts of each of them. I can see um, a combination of the two. I would expect industry to continue moving toward adoption of blended systems, except in cases which require specialized niche database management systems. In such settings, the NoSQL movement has rightly taught users that the one-size-fits-all mentality of relational systems is no longer applicable and should be replaced by the approach that focuses on finding the right tool for the job. Some vendors have already adopted the new SQL as a term to describe modern relational database management systems that aim to blend the scalability, performance, and flexibility of NoSQL systems with robustness guarantees of a traditional database management system. Thank you very much and you have a great evening.